today's video, I want to check in on my reading goal for 2024 and how I am getting along with it. So hello my fellow fantasy book lovers and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Kathy, I'm a goth girl from Belgium who loves to read fantasy books. My reading goal for 2024 is to read a grand total of 50 books. Now, since I read about a book a week, this seems like a very likely goal to hit. So without further anticipation, how am I doing at almost the end of June 2024? At the moment that I'm recording this video, it's around the 20th of June. And at this point, I have already read 27 books. I haven't DNF'd one, so started it but not finished it. And I am currently reading a book as well. So I'm on book 28 for this year. Now, I've also talked about reading more of my physical books, so the books that I own in my bookshelf. And I have to admit that I'm not doing as well on that goal as I would personally like to. And the main reason for that is that I just keep buying books. So my bookshelf keeps on growing. I am selling some books as well, but those are not leaving as fast as I maybe hoped they would. If you want to see which books I'm selling, my Vinted is linked in the description of this video. It's mainly Fairy Loot special editions from last year when I didn't know you could skip the subscription, etc. So those are up for there. Now, you may or may not have seen the video in which I actually reorganized my bookcases. So the bookcases that you see in most of my videos, so these ones, are actually only the books that I have read. So my hardcovers are mainly on that side, and my soft covers, and then of course some special editions are up as well, are on this side. So lower there is actually the books that I've read. And I want to fill these bookcases up more and more and actually have the one in the living room, which is my physical TBR, get a little bit emptier. I buy books, I read a few of the new books, but then I add them to the bookcase anyways, because I buy like 5 books and I read 2 of those. And so the problem keeps growing. And then I go to one of my friends who also reads a lot and she's like, oh, you could really read these are fun. And I get borrowed books that I'm keeping separately, but I can't really fit them in my bookcase right now. So I struggle keeping up with the physical books that I have. And also some of them I'm not really always like reaching for. And it's a continuous problem of me just buying more books. And that brings us to the final part of my 2024 challenge that I'm putting to myself, which was a low buy. I'm not doing a no buy because I know I just can't resist a good book. My low buy was that I could buy 1 or 2 books a month. And of course, if I sell books, then I can also use the money that I make off of selling those books to buy more books. The thing is, I've had my birthday month in which I think I got close to 20 books. Last month I got 7, I think, or even more. There is currently a book on the way of a book that I really wanted a special edition of, so I am not really keeping to my own rule, and it shows in my physical TBR. At the moment of recording this video, I have around 120 books in the bookcase that I still need to read. And at my pace of reading about 50 books a year, it's gonna take me a little bit over 2 years to fully complete the books that I already own. So I really shouldn't be buying more books, but that's a whole other discussion. But to sum it up, I'm currently very happy with the progress of my reading this year. I'm having a lot of fun again. I have to admit that some months have been slower for me reading-wise, and also some books have taken me a little longer to actually get into. And I'm very easily distracted by fun romantasy reads. I am very, very guilty of that. And of course, because I keep a reading journal, it's very easy for me to see what I have read and what the main trends are in what I read. So if you see this, so this is my reading journal page in which I keep track of all the books that I'm reading. So every book gets like noted into one of these tiny books on the bookshelf, and then I give it a color. So the colors that are most present at this moment are vampire-based books. 10 of the 27 books that I've read so far have been vampire themed, like specifically with vampires. 5 books have been epic fantasies: Silver in the Bone, Temeraire, Fireborn, Dragons of Deceit, and I'm currently reading Gideon the Ninth. Gideon the Ninth isn't like epic fantasy with dragons, or at least not so far, but I feel it very much has that like epic fantasy, high fantasy, dark fantasy vibe that I really love. And then of course there's a bunch of romantasy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 specific romantasy books that don't really fit in with the vampire category or something else. But I know that within the vampire books, a few of them have also been romantasies and actually should have had that color, but I just prefer having them as red books because I love red, and yeah, if you hadn't noticed, red is my favorite color. Before I end this video, I want to quickly mention that you shouldn't compare your reading pace to my reading pace because everyone's life is different, everyone's reading tempo is different, and even I sometimes feel guilty whenever I read a book slower than in a week. For example, Gideon the Ninth, I've been reading for the past 2 weeks. I've also gotten distracted and read a few smaller books in between, and that's perfectly fine. Even if you read a book a month, a book a year, that's perfectly okay as long as you're enjoying yourself while you're reading. And of course, if you have reading goals yourself, feel free to let me know in a comment down below how you're doing, and know that regardless of how many books you've read, I'm really proud of you for reading, because I think it's not to be underestimated how little people actually read books. Whenever I talk to people around me at work, I'm the only one actively reading books. So the fact that you found my channel, you found my content, and we're actually connecting over our passion for books, that is so special and so unique, and I'm so grateful for it. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you'd like to be, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every week and I would love to have you for every single one of them. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye!